Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to episode 191 of Folks Talking Sports. Seconds ago, Kennetra was on the screen with me. I don't know what happened, but hopefully she'll be joining me momentarily so she can share her expertise regarding the Men's World Cup because she knows she's way more knowledgeable about that than I am. And I already told her off air that I'm going to try to hold my peace and not get us investigated by the FBI because of the involvement of the grifter in charge to getting a U.S. player red card suspended, reversed, whatever. That's a bad look for FIFA. Bad luck for soccer. I'm sorry. FIFA is more corrupt than everyone thought. You get politicians involved. That's just an awful look. I don't care if it benefits the U.S. That's a bad look. You get a call from the White House to, could you do things, look into this for us? That's a bad look. I'm just sorry. It's a bad look. There she is. Save me from myself for getting, speaking more about the grifter in charge, putting his thumb on the scale. How are you, Kennetra?
I'm good.
Share your thoughts, share your knowledge about the World Cup, the Men's World Cup, excuse me.
Where shall we start?
Talk about the matches first, and then we'll get into politicians being involved in reversing red cards.
Okay, so we can just start, we'll just start with today. Bad showing. Bad showing by Brazil. I don't know why Vinny Jr. did not take the first PK. And then it just seemed like they were watching instead of, hi, Miss Wanda, instead of, attacking. They allowed Holland just to have his way, like, to dictate the flow of the game. It just seemed like they were off, and I mean, it was nice for Neymar coming in off the bench. Even he has not been 90-minute fit for this entire World Cup tournament, so it was nice for him to come in. And even though he's an instigator, agent provocateur, for him to get a stoppage time PK goal as just kind of his farewell, because he announced after the match that he's retiring from international football or international competition. So at least he went out with the soccer. And so, say what you want about his character, and you can't deny his talent that he's brought to the sport. Then the second game tonight will be England versus Mexico. There was talk yesterday, day before, about moving up the start time because of the weather forecast.
Mm-hmm.
And it happened. So the start of tonight's game is delayed at least an hour. It was supposed to start at 7. They were trying to prevent, the chance of the game being impacted by flooding and by rain. So, but there's lightning in the area, so that will be delayed. So, you just wonder about England and how well they will be able to adapt to kind of the 12th man, if you will, with the altitude. And then plus, of course, the Mexican supporters did not allow the English team to get a good night's sleep, with their celebrations last night. But security has been increased, just based on what happened after El Tri's, win earlier in the round of 32. There was loss of life just because of the celebration, and just people who they basically got crushed,
Right,
smothered.
the crowds overcrowded.
Yeah,
A lot of people in a confined area, compressed area. Yeah.
yeah. So they're increasing security. So as far as the matches on the field, that's that for today. And then, of course, looking ahead to tomorrow's match, with the U.S. and Belgium. And
Well, isn't there one earlier in the day?
that was Brazil.
No.
Brazil.
When does Portugal and Spain play? Don't they play?
They're playing tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow as well.
Yeah.
So that'll because if you look at it, whereas this year it's Canada, US, and Mexico, who were co-host.
Mm-hmm.
In 2030, Portugal and Spain and Morocco will co-host the World Cup. But Cristiano Ronaldo, the global superstar of Portugal, has already announced that this is his final World Cup. Some people thought that maybe he'd come back 2030 since Portugal will be one of the co-hosts, but he said he's 1000% sure, like, hey, his mind's made up. So,
Yeah, we'll
and
see.
Father Time is undefeated.
True, but we'll see.
You
I
know,
believe when I see it. Yeah.
yeah, he hasn't been as efficient, impactful, from a scoring perspective as because you'll see the comparisons to he and Lionel Messi, um, but but Ronaldo says this. I mean, he's the first player to score in 6 different World Cups. So again, so that's so you got that tomorrow, and then you know U.S. got some good news this morning. Hashtag Let It Flow. Bellerin Balagoon will be able. His services will be available tomorrow after his red card was not going to say rescinded, suspended by FIFA with some outside influences. Just to make sure that he could play. He and the rest of the team, they found out they were on the bus on the way to training this morning, and the reports started trickling in on social media that his red card had been reviewed and suspended.
And good evening to Queen Wanda Polk and Big Thrillo, and episode 191 of Folks Talking Sports is streaming on YouTube twice, landscape and portrait, Twitch, hopefully, LinkedIn, and Facebook as well. And we're going to talk now about politicians being involved, the 80-year-old thumb on the scale with FIFA, and we shouldn't be surprised. FIFA, man, gave the grifter a peace prize,
Fake.
a fake peace prize. Both of them are corrupt and have their hands out for everything. Anything and everything. They both have their hands out. So they're very transactional. So we shouldn't be surprised, honestly, about the red card being reversed or probation for a year or whatever you want to call it. And then the grifter putting out on social media that FIFA did the right thing, blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to be even messier. But it's, why are you doing this for a man who you're trying to rescind his citizenship? I don't get that. I mean, sir, you wanted, he was born here, but his parents weren't born here. So why are you bending over backwards to do this? Oh, because he thinks it's going to help him, make him look good. That's why he's doing this. He's, I mean, I can't stand the man, and if you respect that man, that's you.
Because my thing is, there have been 12 red cards, straight reds, not accumulation of 2 yellows. There have been 12 straight reds in this event. That is more than the previous 2 World Cups combined. So my thing is, all of the other players, in my opinion, whose red cards were questionable, don't they have a case to have their red cards reviewed?
Yeah.
Now some of them were violent, reckless fouls, tackles. I could see, but Balagoon, like his, they were both jockeying for position. But it's interesting, the player who he was, jockeying for the ball with, from Bosnia Herzegovina, also received a red card in this event and subsequently had to miss the next game. Fortunately, they were able to advance, so he was able to return to play. But again, there have been 12 red cards. But if you also, in this thing about red cards being suspended or the punishment being lessened, it's not uncommon. It happened to Ronaldo heading into the World Cup. He had received a 3-game suspension for a red card, but it got reduced to allow him, because of course you want your global superstars to play. So his 3-game ban was shortened so that he was able to play.
FIFA wants their global superstars,
Exactly. Argentina, Ecuador, they also had players who were in jeopardy of missing the start of group play. But it's just, and rightfully so, the Belgian Federation, they were outraged. They're
Sure.
like, what is this, April Fools? Like, to see that it's not a fair fight. And the U.S. will not make Balogun available to meet the media before the match.
Surprising. Yeah, all we got out of him was his Instagram post to the MJ song. Yeah, okay. I mean, corruption. And again, I love America, but I'm not going to turn a blind eye just because it's benefited the U.S.
And I mean,
corruption.
And like one of the rules that I don't like, one of the new rules besides the hydration commercial break, is now players have received red cards for covering their mouths.
Yeah.
Like, come on now.
Yeah. What is that?
Really? You get a red card for that, and you get sent off immediately. Your team plays a man down, and then you miss the next match for cover. Like, that's more offensive than a physical play. Come on now.
FIFA gonna FIFA,
Right.
and I don't mean that in a good way at all.
I mean, and the thing is, like, Balogun was shown a red. I mean, it was reviewed and it was upheld, and then all of a sudden, 3 days later.
And I don't watch enough soccer, football, whatever, to be as well versed in it as you are. But watching it live, I did not think it was a red card, worthy of a red card.
Right. Correct.
Replay, slow-mo made it look much worse than it was.
Yes.
So listening to the announcers and the refs who they have, to the in-game ref analyst did not believe it was worthy of a red card. So everybody except the game official did not think it was a red card and did not deserve a red card. But they decided it was a red card. VAR said it was a red card. But to go 3 days later and say, oh, yeah, well, on second thought, that's an awful look. That is a bad look for the sport. It's worse than boxing.
Yeah.
I love boxing, but boxing is corrupt, has had the air and odor of corruption for years. That's the stench. There we go. Better word. Stench of corruption for years. And it's not a good look. And as Thrillo says, U.S. better win tomorrow because Balogun might be deported if they don't. See what I did for you? I did all this for you, and you blow a penalty kick, or you whatever, you harp, who knows what he's going to do. He might have his people investigate him and come to his home, and and the director of the FBI, and Patel come over there. I mean, it's an awful look. It is just another example of a transactional president putting his thumb on the scale because he's doing it for himself. He's not doing it for the team. He's see what I did, see what I can do, see the influence I have. Whatever, man. Okay, you feel good about yourself? Go ahead. Whatever. Okay. Miss Wanda, I hope you saw this earlier because you are a member. You are a Houston Roundball Review YouTube member, members only person. I typed this up as a YouTube post commentary and made it available for the members first. But I'm going to say this. Thrillo, this is for you. You're a Rockets fan. KP, first thing first. Have you seen or heard about the rumor about Kevin Durant being traded from the Rockets to the Pistons?
I have not.
Okay. Thrillo, have you seen that rumor? Have you seen that? But I'll say it like this. This is my response to this. I reached out to some folks I know, friends slash sources slash colleagues who I know. And I was like, so when is KD going to be traded to Detroit? And the response very quickly, never, 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 never. Folks, clickbait is a powerful thing. All right? It's a powerful thing. KD said the game, this was when Detroit beat Phoenix 2 seasons ago. And Cade scored the game-winning bucket. I think it might have been over KD. Pull up three at the top of the key, something like that. After that game, Kevin Durant said how much he thought of Cade, his potential, his skill set. Some questions. What do you thought about Detroit with Cade Cunningham? And he's like, hell, they got a 6'6" point guard. They got a bright future. Bright future. Yeah. That was 2 years ago. So now, 2 years later, the rationale behind it is KD wants to play with Cade because of what he said. He thinks highly of Cade.
It was a compliment.
2 years ago, he said those things. 2 seasons ago. So now, from a Rocket perspective, Jamon, Wanda, Thrillo, Rocket fans watching us on YouTube, Twitch, LinkedIn, Facebook, what do you think Detroit would give up that the Rockets would want in exchange for Kevin Durant? It ain't Cade. It ain't Jalen Duren. It ain't Asar Thompson. What else is there? Who else is there? It ain't Tobias Harris. He's gone. It's not Karis LeVert. It's not Marcus Sasser. It's not Kevin Huerter. So who else is it? Who else is it? Who do you think the Rockets would ask for that Detroit would say, oh, yeah, well, y'all want Kevin Durant. He could help our scoring. So, all right, we'll give you Tolu Smith and Dennis Jenkins. How about that? I'm sure y'all are wondering, like, who? Tolu Smith? Oh, no, I'm sorry. Jamon, how about B-Ball Paul? Him too. Yeah, we'll toss him in there too. Clickbait is a powerful thing. I texted, folks. I know people in Detroit. Front office, cover Detroit. I made the text, and they were laughing at me. Laughing at me. Of course, never say never. Never say never, obviously. But come on now, people. But Jamon, they could get a third team, a fourth team, a fifth team. Again, who do you think Detroit would give up that another team would want that would result in Kevin Durant becoming a Piston? If it ain't Asar Thompson, Jalen Duren, or Cade Cunningham. Dennis Jenkins? Who else is it? Duncan Robinson? Who else? So, and I shook my head when I saw some of the folks who I respected, retweet this stuff. Really? Now, mind you, it wasn't people on a national media scale who know better. But the source y'all are citing? Okay. But, Jamon, I'm glad you're here. Rockets fan. Thrillo, I'm glad you're here. I want to get y'all's thoughts on Tari Eason getting a 5-year guaranteed contract with the Rockets. 5 years guaranteed, player option on the 5th year for an average of less money than he had offered to him last offseason. Last year, the offer was 4 years, $100 million. Injuries clauses warranted or injuries, and but now he got a 5-year, $81 million KP. That's 16.5 and some change. compared to 4 years and $100 million. Sure, it's an okay deal for Tari. For less money. He ain't gonna stay healthy. I think the Rockets blinked on both sides. Good for him. Same agent as Jalen Duren. Same agent as Jalen Duren, apparently. Jalen Duren, you got bad advice, man. No leverage. No whatsoever. Kennetra, you saw the playoffs. You saw what he didn't do in the playoffs. He and his agent want everyone to... Oh, what I did in the playoffs? Oh, no. That wasn't me. That wasn't... Y'all don't even pay attention to that. I'm still worthy of max money. Okay, young fella. Okay. Good luck with that. I respect him trying it and asking for it, but at the end, he should know better. Man, you were subpar in both rounds of the playoffs. But as Thrillo says about Tari Eason, he should have took the money last year. Yes. They offered more and now he's getting less. Oh, whatever.
But what do they say? You have not because you ask not?
I mean, I respect him for, asking. But max money for Jalen Duren, since he made third team All-NBA, and only Detroit can offer this, a fifth year, I believe is 5 years, $285 million. What is it? That's like $57 million. 57 per year. And when he has no leverage, he is not unrestricted. He is a restricted free agent. Detroit can match any offer. So based on his poor playoff performance, based on no leverage, no other team having max salary cap room to offer him that much money, as a smart business person, why would you offer him when you don't have to $55 million a year for 5 years? Detroit hasn't offered that. Not even close. And Jalen Duren and his people said, "Oh, I'm worthy of max money." Notice KP, he had not. There's been no announcement of him agreeing to a deal from anybody else, because no one is going to offer you that, sir. Detroit has already said we're going to match any offer. We're not trading you. Sacramento, oh, well, yeah, we believe he's a max player. We're going to give you Domantas Sabonis in exchange. Man, 8 years older, coming off season-ending surgery. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, okay. But, Kennetra, your thoughts on Marcus Smart becoming a Rocket?
The Rockets were the third oldest team last season. They aren't doing anything to move in the other direction.
Not at all.
The team who was behind them, if you will, Clippers, who are getting younger.
Yes.
So Rockets are moving in the wrong direction. Not saying Marcus Smart doesn't have value, but I don't think he's what the Rockets need.
He's better than Jae'Sean Tate and Aaron Holiday. The Rockets trading Dorian Finney-Smith to Charlotte for basically a trade exception. Mm-hmm. Dorian Finney-Smith and 3 second-round picks to Charlotte. Not players in return. That's free up the roster spot. Amon, I have not heard anything about Fred's knee being gone. If it's gone, it's something else, because that's not from an ACL. ACLs are not known for arthritis degenerative conditions. So that is, I don't know who that rumor is, and consider the source. I'll say that. Consider the source. But yeah, if his knee is gone, it's not because of his ACL. And Marcus Smart is, he's kind of a grimy player like Dylan Brooks, kind of, sort of, Okay. Nothing Rockets have done so far has moved them closer to OKC or the Spurs.
Or has impressed you?
No. not even close. No. So, and the rumor, the Kevin Durant rumor was 2-team trade, Şengün going somewhere, KD going to Detroit, and then somebody coming to the Rockets. I guess Jalen Duren. Jalen Duren ain't going nowhere. Jalen Duren is not an Ime player. He can't shoot threes. He's not a great rim protector. He's not a great shot blocker. Not a great on the perimeter and pick and roll defense.
Late game finisher?
He's not. No, not that either. Just consider the source, folks. Consider the source. There should be a handful of national media you should respect when it comes to trade rumors, intel, things like that. If you're not reading this from those folks, don't waste your time. And James coming to Houston, why? James said he's going to wait to see what LeBron does, and that'll determine how much money he's going to get from the Cavs. That's what he said. And why would James come here for what? As a free agent? Just change his mind and say, I don't want to, I'm not going to sign with Cleveland. I'll come back to sign with the Rockets. Is that what you're going to do? Rocket fans, is that what y'all want? I mean, y'all the ones that got to spend your money on Rocket games, and the SCHN stuff. That's your choice. Y'all tell me what y'all going to do. I'm not going to spend my time doing all that stuff. I got more Cougars in the NBA. So that made me a few more trips to see the Cougars play in town and come visit. But beyond that, I'm not going to cover the Rockets. Too much on my plate for no money. Those days are over. Not doing that. Be like one of my mentors. I can talk about them just like this. I don't have to go to the game to talk about them, cover them. Get credentialed. More and more folks getting credentials shouldn't get them. Don't deserve to get them. Not just here in town, across the league, across all sports. People getting credentials ain't got no business getting a credential. None whatsoever. And Jamon wouldn't be surprised if Stone chased after Harden. Neither would I. But I'm asking you guys, you Rocket fans, would y'all be okay with that? Would that solve one of the Rockets' problems? I mean, because Fred VanVleet, he did exercise his option on his contract to get his $25 million. No surprise there. We all kind of expected him to do that. But, if James, the clubs are still here in town. James going to James, wherever he is. He still, I guess, makes it rain, whatever. See, Jamon is consistent, though. He's been consistent with this for a long time. Getting rid of Stone would solve a lot of problems. Getting rid of Stone, as in Rafael Stone, general manager Rafael Stone, would solve a lot of problems. Being consistent. And Harden coming back to sell tickets. He's not going to make the Rockets better than OKC or the Spurs. I mean, I don't think so. Do you think so, Kennetra? No. He just not. I just don't see it. And, James, I have no issues with James. Had no issues with him when he was a Rocket. He didn't cause me any problems. Nothing on record, off record. He had no problems. But Father Time, James been in the league, what, 17, 18 years? How long has it been? A long time.
He doesn't move the needle.
No. But, whatever. Kennetra, back to the World Cup.
Yeah.
Who are you picking to win tomorrow, U.S. or Belgium?
I think it will go to penalty kicks.
Wow. And?
Only because it's in Seattle. I'll give it to US.
Okay. Fair enough. Now, would you have said that if the red card would not have been reversed?
No, then I would have taken Belgium.
Okay. All right. Jaylen Brown traded from Boston to the Sixers. Your thoughts?
Sixers are contenders now.
With an unhealthy Joel Embiid?
With a semi-healthy, sometimes healthy,
Sometimes.
sporadically healthy, inconsistently healthy.
Are they still rocking if he's sporadically healthy?
I think they're in contention.
In the East
In the
or
East.
the whole league?
In the East.
But Kennetra, he's only the seventh best player on Boston's team, and one GM said he's not even a top 50 player. I want names to come with some of these things.
Right.
That's what I want. I want, give me some names with some of these quotes. Jaylen Brown is not a top 50 player.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because again, like you said, clickbait.
I mean, come on. But Jaylen Brown, he won't have to do as much with the Sixers, so that probably should help him help his efficiency. He has never been a great ball handler, especially going with his left hand. But analytics, I'm not going to get off my lawn any more so than I already have been during this show. But folks, Jaylen Brown is a hell of a talent. My biggest thing with the Celtics trading him, why now? Why not wait? Why not? If the market was so low on him right now, if that's the case, why are you selling low? Have him play well the first part of the season, increase his trade value, then trade him. Because, I don't have a whole lot of respect for many things Rafael Stone has done regarding transactions and stuff. But for what Boston got in exchange for this trade, Rockets could have done something. Somebody could have done something better than this. An aging, inconsistently healthy Paul George and some picks. I mean, man. Oh, okay. And to trade him to your rival, a bitter rival.
I mean, literally.
Just wait. Just hold on to him. I say, okay, we're not going to give you the contract extension now. Okay, that's fine. Jaylen, play well. Because he probably would have been motivated through October, November, December. I'm going to show Brad Stevens what I'm worth. And then what happens after that. But to do it right now in the off season? Oh, okay. I guess. So, Kennetra, I'm sure you're looking forward to watching NBA Summer League.
No.
In Vegas.
No.
And I'm sure you spent time Saturday watching the California Summer League or the Utah Summer League? No, me either.
No,
And the Utah Summer
I was
League,
watching Wimbledon and World Cup.
yeah, Utah Summer League, Atlanta and Utah. So that was Kingston Flemings going against Darian Peterson, I think, yeah. And then the California Classic, Sacramento with Emmanuel Sharp and Darius Acuff. Who they beat? I forgot who they beat, whatever. Okay. And then Golden State Warriors have two teams. They got the Warriors are hosting the San Francisco version of the California Classic, and the Kings are hosting the Sacramento version of the California Classic. LJ Cryer is playing he's playing for Golden State Blue, Warriors Blue, and they won on Friday. I know that. Yaxel Landenberg, he played very well. So I'm sure based on that, someone's going to declare him Rookie of the Year. Cameron Boozer played well yesterday, so he's probably going to be Rookie of the Year as well. And Darren Peterson, I read the little headline article on ESPN. Darren Peterson and Cameron Boozer played well. They did well in their summer league debuts. I read the article. In the article, it mentioned, oh, by the way, Darren Peterson had 8 turnovers. He was playing point guard, but he had 8 turnovers, people.
And how many assists?
That's not playing well. He scored well, but he had 8 turnovers. So, Miss Wanda, I don't know. I saw a highlight of Emmanuel hitting a deep 3-pointer. I don't know his stat line, whatever. He played defense. He did what Emmanuel Sharp did with the Coogs. He won't hurt the Kings very much. It's Summer League. That's all I'm going to say over and over and over again. It's Summer League.
I will not watch a single game.
And Emmanuel Sharp, he got a guaranteed contract as a second rounder. For most of his contracts is guaranteed. So that's a plus for a second round pick for sure. But for guys who have received guaranteed contracts, Summer League is to get in shape and learn your teammates. The guys who don't have guaranteed contracts, Summer League is for getting looks from other NBA teams or teams overseas. That's what Summer League is all about. Okay? It is not to make a big deal about, ooh, did you see what he did in so-and-so game? Who cares? Kennetra, who won last year's Summer League in Vegas? Miss Wanda, who won the Vegas Summer League?
Didn't watch a single game.
Thrillo, Draymond, who won the Vegas Summer League last year? I'm asking because I don't know. And this is how things have changed. When I was in my 20s, 30s, I cared a lot more about Summer League. I did. Now, whatever. It's Summer League. And I can understand this to a point, too. Rocket fans want to see rookie Bruce Thornton and how he looks in Summer League. But again, it's Summer League. And with who the Rockets have brought in, the veterans they brought in, he may not play at all this year. And he's 6 feet tall. Another undersized guard. But, I'll be in my office at school.
No.
And not watching Summer League.
No Big 12 Media Days?
No. It's football, Kennetra. Football. I made my one Big 12 football media day. I think that was the Coogs' first year in the Big 12. I think that was it. That was it for me, football. I didn't watch it on TV. Really, that's not true.
Which
as soon as I find out when Coach Fritz is talking, I'm waiting to receive the schedule for when Coach Fritz is going to talk. Beyond that, no, I'll read what my colleagues say, or no, it's football.
Yeah.
Now in October, I'll be there. But football, no. whatever. Now, next year, hopefully I'll get someone credentialed under the Houston Roundball Review Media Group umbrella to cover the Football Media Day representing me, but it's not going to be me. Mr. Moore would have gone, but he had scheduling conflicts. Andy's enjoying life right now. He's with family out of the country until I think tomorrow or maybe Tuesday. And then later on this month, he's going back out of the country to see more family. But let's rage Coogs fans. Miss Wanda, this is for you as well. Tune in to Thursday's edition of the Houston Roundball Review Takeover of the lunch break, high noon on YouTube, because as things currently stand, it will be me, Dayon, Fluff, and Andy together on that show. So working on that, getting the band back together to discuss Coogs. Want to hear Fluff's thoughts on Coogs getting drafted and look ahead to this coming season. So that's the plan right now. As of right now, it's going to be on the Takeover, but it'll be like a Let's Rage Coogs takeover of the show. So there we go.
Coogs will talk Tuesday.
Oh, I know that. I don't know what time. I know they'll be there Tuesday. I just don't know what time. That's what I reached out for and tried to find out. But yes, Keisean Henderson is the 5-star freshman quarterback for Coach Fritz and the Coogs. And he will play some this year, especially now you got the 5 and 5 eligibility thing. So he doesn't have the red shirt, but it's still Connor Weigman's team. I think Keisean will get some action, be involved in some packages. But yes, Coogs got a 5-star, and he stuck with his commitment. He committed to the Coogs, I think his junior year, early, and did not waver. Even though, Kennetra, you've been around enough big-time programs in football and college semi-pro sports. Folks still came after him, still try to recruit him, to try to get him change his mind, all those different things. Keisean stuck with it and didn't. And then he signed, and he is a Coug, and he's happy to be a Coug. And you got some more talented young players on the team this year. And just imagine what Houston could do with a bigger NIL budget. Just imagine if business people here in town stepped up, or if Houston athletes in the pros started to contribute more money to the NIL, football and basketball. Just putting it out there again. Andy and I touched on it on Thursday's Takeover, but it needs to be more Houston Cougar pro players. If they have not been talked to about it, they need to do it, take it upon themselves, whatever, and say, hey, what can we do to contribute to NIL so we can get our program to be nationally relevant and compete for the CFP and be like Texas Tech. Just saying. That needs to happen. That needs to happen.
How much do you want to be like Texas Tech?
But what's that?
I said, how much do you want to be like Texas Tech?
Financially, contribution-wise, okay. The other stuff, thinking my stuff, don't think, I don't want that for my program. No. But Keisean did not come as a package. He committed to the Cougs before Michael Bishop was hired by Coach Fritz. Michael Bishop has known Coach Fritz going back to junior college days. So that was before Keisean was born. So that's a long time ago. And Michael Bishop was the guest. The Let's Red Coug show, our show was his first guest appearance in town. Mm. It was our show. I made that happen. After he Let's Rage Cougs basketball game, he was there, and we have a mutual friend. And he agreed to join us on the show. Just saying. So putting a bow on all this stuff regarding rumors and clickbait, consider the source of some of the stuff you read, hear. And if it doesn't come from folks you don't know or don't respect, don't waste your time with that nonsense. Or reach out to the person who you do know and respect and let them and ask them what's going on with this person. What have you heard? Okay, but yes. All right, Queen Pulliams. Oh, and for everyone who's wondering, Laquita Thompson is back from Australia. She's taking a rest from the jet lag. A.D. Moore is with family. One of his grandkids is, I think, graduating this evening has a ceremony. Willie Gibson enjoying family, summertime. AJ has a business deal going on as well. Next Sunday's show, we will talk some trademark, copyright info, specifically the comments, with an attorney, lawyer, who just so happens to be one of my cousins. So she's agreed to join me on the show and join us on the show and answer some of our questions regarding trademarks and copyright and all that good stuff. But yes, that's for episode 192 of Folks Talking Sports. That will do it. Queen Pulliams, you know my usual question as we wrap up the show. Anything changed for you? No? Okay. But as Kennetra mentioned, Big 12 Football Media Days. Day 1 is this Tuesday, July 7th. Day 2, July 8th. Houston their day is on day 1. So Coach Fritz and 7 other student assets will represent the Coogs at Media Day. And yes, I'm going back to that, more and more student assets. So that is how we're going to do that. And it will be airing on ESPNU, as well as the Big 12 Fast channel, which needs a better name than Big 12 Studios. I mean, KP, if you disagree, please let me know. When you hear the name Big 12 Studios, what do you think of?
I don't. It's just vanilla.
Agree. You don't think it's a network. You don't think it's a channel. It's Big 12 Studios. I mean,
that to me, that gives the feeling of building.
Thank you. Yes, that's what I think too.
A physical build, like, okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna go inside studio. Okay.
When I hear it, I don't think it's something for people to watch. So that's a problem. Conference. And I brought it up Friday to the members, YouTube members first. And now I'm going public with it. Gotta be a name change. Man, do something better. Call it Big 12 TV. Hell, call it Big 12 Network. Big 12 Plus. Something other than Big 12 Studios. But the Cougs representing at Media Day, offensive lineman Mackenzie Agnello, defensive back Jordan Allen, defensive lineman Khalil Laufau, wide receiver Amari Thomas, DB Kentra Webb, and of course QB Connor Weigman. That'll be day 1 on July 7th, Houston at the Big 12 Football Media Days. The Media Day has a sponsor, but as Kennetra knows, as Thrillo knows, as Miss Wanda knows, that company ain't sponsoring FTS. So I ain't plugging them. I ain't going to say it. Now, if they want to toss money our way, please do so. But until they do, it is Big 12 Football Media Day. That's what it is. Period. Okay? So 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., tune in to ESPNU. And as soon as I find out when Coach Fritz is going to talk, I'll publicize it, post it on the platforms, the socials, like YouTube and Facebook, Blue Sky, Threads, Instagram, etc. But your thoughts, we kind of joked about this. BYUtv will produce the linear broadcast for the Big 12 Football Media Day. Your thoughts?
Good. Hey, good work if you can get it. If you have a platform and you have the resources and the talent and the ability, by all means, make it happen. Instead of, having to resort to Fast channel.
And if they do more with the fast channel, it could grow. They also don't do enough with it. But I mean, I'll be watching on it from work on Tuesday. Full disclosure, unless I have to do things. But most likely I won't on Tuesday from the office. But if I do, office first. Rowdy Coogs. I think there is a media poll because I kind of remember Ari and James, the co-hosts of the Big 12 Today show that airs on TuneIn and the YouTube channel and Big 12 Studios on the Fast channel. They kind of discussed it with some of the guests they've had on the show and asked them about their votes for the media poll. So I think they're back doing it because I did not request a credential. I think that's why I did not get asked to vote, get a preseason ballot. So I think
Houston's 5.
What time? Oh, they already put it out there. So there you go. Media poll. Say that again.
5.
Behind
Texas Tech, BYU, Arizona, Utah.
Arizona? Shout out to No Fita. QB for Arizona. I mean, okay. The other 3 I can see. Arizona, well, I mean, they're kind of in the same tier. Houston, Arizona. I guess I'm okay with that, I suppose. But yeah, top 2, no issues with BYU and Texas Tech. Honestly, I think Arizona, Houston, and Utah are pretty much in the same boat, honestly. But Utah lost so much. I don't know if I agree with that.
Including head coach?
Including the coach. Yeah, so I don't know if I agree with that. Yeah, I don't know about that. Yeah, Kim is doing her own thing. Kim has got a show on CW, but Kim, gets the invites too. Again, Laquita's busy, everybody's busy. That's why today it's just me and Kennetra. That's why. But it's all part of the family, the FTS family, and we'll have different iterations of it throughout the shows, airing of the shows based on availability. And at some point, I'm trying to get AD to get his feet comfortable so he can host the show, and drive the flatter plane. So yeah, that's what the goal is. And reminder again, Rowdy Coogs, if you missed it, this Thursday's edition of the Houston Roundball Review Takeover, airing at high noon on YouTube and on Roku via the BS3 network, but on YouTube at the Houston Roundball Review channel, should be, knocking on wood, will be me, Andy, Dayon, and Fluff. So the Let's Rage Coogs crew will be on the takeover. So tune in for that. So that will do it. Touched on it. I remembered a few things. Now I can wrap it up. Kennetra has no socials to follow, so there's nothing there for you guys who want to follow her on the socials. But regarding FTS, you can follow on Instagram and Threads at Folks Talking Sports. Salute to everyone watching on YouTube, either in landscape or portrait mode. Show is streaming on in both ways there. Show is also airing on Twitch, LinkedIn, as well as on the Houston Roundball Review Facebook page. So different platforms, different formats for us as we get ready for football season, college football season, and then, of course, men's college basketball season. And if you are interested, willing, and able to advertise, simply email advertise@thehrr.com. Once again, advertise at some folks say the hrr.com. And once again, Andy Yanez and I, and hopefully Dayon and Fluff, all 4 of us, that's the ultimate plan, is for all 4 of us to be in Kansas City for the Big 12 men's basketball tournament in March. And if you are interested in advertising on those Let's Rage Coog shows, please reach out to me. Advertise at thehrr.com. And if you are new, if you missed it, you haven't seen it, haven't heard about it, and did not see it on Twitter, Blue Sky, Facebook, Instagram, the Houston Roundball Review Facebook page, June had over 100,000 views. In April, over 100,000 views. May had over 50,000 views. So add it up. Do the math. So once again, one more again. If you are interested, willing, and able, advertise at thehrr.com. Advertise at thehrr.com. And I'm thinking through these first 5 days of July, I think the Facebook page is already at 20,000 views. I think already. So thank you to the new followers. Thank you to the folks who just stopping by, checking it out, heard about it, via word of mouth, whatever. Come again. Don't be a stranger. Start following the page so you can see info about the Coogs, football, basketball, Big 12 conference as well. And that will wrap it up. Hit the like button on YouTube. Spread the word about Folks Talking Sports. Join us again next Sunday. We're going to talk some copyright, trademark, info. So in conclusion, since 1994, the Houston Roundball Review. Local name, global perspective. Everyone, take care. Peace.